With the launch of Lightfall, all classes got access to some new exotic gear, whether it's in the form of weapons or armor that is entirely dependent upon Bungie, and each class got at least two pieces that was sort of one-on-one, one in the way that one was Strand, and the other in the way that one was something completely different. Now, you gotta wonder though, with Hunter, they are the only ones that didn't get something focused, because the Titans, they got the Strand ones, and then they had the Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap, which is Diamond Lance and Stasis. Then the Warlocks as well, they got the Swarmers, and then as well the Baldor's Wrathweavers, which is another Stasis thing. Then you go to the Hunter, and yes, they of course got the Facade that boosts their Strand, but then they also have the Speedloader Slacks, which is a neutral game exotic, which if you don't know what that means, it's basically that it's not applied to any particular subclass and any one of them can take advantage of it. Other ones being ones like Stompies, Bombardiers, Dance Machines, Star Eaters, Frosties. A majority of actually pants for Hunters are pretty much neutral game. So on that same note though, it's curious because the details dodging grants reload, handling, and airborne effectiveness for you and nearby allies, but also defeating targets will increase said gains. Now, it's pretty straightforward. It is basically a standard neutral game exotic where it's a weapon handling / damage buff that's blatant and across the board. Now, why is this seemingly not unique or possibly evidence that Bungie is running out of ideas? Well, actually, on the same page, visit the Dragon's Shadow, and you see this one where dodging reloads all weapons and increases movement and weapon handling speeds for a brief time. Basically, dodging grants a reload buff and movement. And then with speedloaders, dodging boosts reload, movement, and handling. Hey Bungie, did you forget about Dragon's Shadow when you made the Speedloader Slacks? It's entirely possible. Now, granted, are they just thinking of recreating some exotics with new verbs? Yes, they have completely done that. There has been times where something didn't get a verb when it should have. Like, for example, the Polaris Lance was a essentially fire machine, which was not buffed with Solar 3.0 and did not apply to it, and was only recently changed with more accurate Scorch verbs and that sort of thing. But on that same note, why make something that has an addition of airborne effectiveness than the Dragon Shadow that's still here and just buffing that and creating something else? Is it possible that Bungie is just embracing the idea of making the same thing but then in a different slot? Possibly, but otherwise this is still a confusing essence, because honestly, literally, they sound practically similar, the only difference being that speedloaders can also buff your allies, which was also a buff they could have given to Dragon Shadow, considering that, aside from Crucible, I don't think anyone uses this literally anywhere. So, yeah, seems like Bungie forgot about Dragon Shadow when they made Speedloader Slacks. On that note, my name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.